All right, good evening, everyone. I hereby call to order the King George County School Board regular meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, please be seated. All right, so first up this evening, we'll have a few moments of recognition. So first, may we have Ms. Stacy Hildebrand with the Teacher of the Year recognition.
Good evening, Madam Chair, school board members, Dr. Benson, principals, assistant principals, teachers, community members, parents, families, and students. I have the distinct privilege in recognizing 6 teachers that have received recognition of Teacher of the Year in their school. And tonight I will also be announcing the Division Teacher of the Year for the first time this evening. As I call your name, will you please come and join us up front? The principals wrote a letter of recommendation to the Division Teacher of the Year Selection Committee. So tonight I'm going to be reading some highlights from each of their letters. Elizabeth Bardenett, King George High School science teacher. Ms. Bardenett is an amazing science teacher at King George High School. Her impact as an educator is student-focused. While many teachers specialize in delivering instruction to certain student groups, for example, remediation or enrichment, Ms. Bardenett has proven herself as an educator who can meet all students where they are and take them all to new heights. Her effort to deliver quality instruction to her students often reaches well beyond the school day, evidenced by the fact that her orange car is always in the parking lot. This year, she was asked to teach physics to our Governor School students, which is no small task. I should also add that in her first year as Governor School physics teacher, she has performed with flying colors as referenced by her colleagues and students. Hillary Half, King George Middle School Instructional Technology Liaison. Miss Hillary Half is King George Middle School's Instructional Technology Liaison. Hillary embodies all the qualities and characteristics that this award represents. She is an expert in her field who guides students of all backgrounds and abilities to achieve excellence. She collaborates with colleagues, students, and families to create a school culture of respect and success. Hillary deliberately connects the classroom and key stakeholders to foster a strong community at large. She demonstrates leadership and innovation in and outside the classroom walls that embodies lifelong learning, and she expresses herself in an engaging and articulate way. Anyone who has spent just a short amount of time observing Hillary will clearly see the wonderful things she does in our school and community. Jennifer Collins. Stacy Field, King George Elementary School, math lead. Ms. Field does not work or serve for awards or praise, but simply to inspire and impact all those that come in contact with each day. She achieves this by currently serving as our math lead teacher. She has mastered the elusive art of being firm but fair, having rules yet maintaining relationships, and keenly remembering that though she teaches mathematical skills, she is really teaching children whom she freely offers love, acceptance, and grace, bringing life to the fundamental mathematical foundations needed to foster independence. Her students are welcomed with open arms, and they know that every day in her groups across the grade levels, they will learn, laugh, grow, and flourish. She also provides a wealth of resources to our math teachers, not only with professional development opportunities, but is always willing to work with them, planning and modeling lessons when needed. By Ronald Monroe. Jennifer Lorenz, Potomac Elementary School, Instructional Technology Liaison. As our instructional technology leader, Mrs. Lorenz has always played a vital role with facilitating the integration of technology in the instructional program. However, this year, with little time to adapt and/or learn the virtual platform, Mrs. Lorenz really shined as an instructional leader. It has been an ongoing challenge, to say the least. Under her leadership and organization, our students were provided all the technological tools to be successful. Her calm demeanor, smile, and supportive nature has made this learning environment more efficient for the students and family members she assists. Mrs. Lorenz has been instrumental in providing professional development to her team, such as online modules, training on how to access and implement Canvas, and curriculum development. Her role in guiding best practices at Potomac Elementary has had a positive impact on student achievement. By Angela Harris. Miss Amanda Hurst, Sealston Elementary School, special education teacher. During her tenure at Sealston Elementary, Mrs. Hurst has demonstrated exceptional skill as a teacher and a leader. She leads our special education department and teaches both 5th and 6th grade students. Mrs. Hurst has very high expectations for her students and has consistently encouraged them to do their best. While working in a self-contained setting, Mrs. Hurst continues to advocate for her students to be increasingly included with their general education peers. Because of her high standards and belief in their abilities, Mrs. Hurst's students are achieving at increasingly higher levels. As a department chair, Mrs. Hurst models for her team how to collaborate with general education teachers effectively, guide paraprofessionals in their support roles, and effectively manage the caseload requirements of special education. By Cindy Malavec. So congratulations to all of you. This is a wonderful honor. And if we could just join me in another round of applause. Mrs. Mary Pergy could not be here tonight, so I will definitely give her awards. Mary started her first year at King George County Preschool during this unprecedented time of a pandemic. While Mary brought a wealth of knowledge from her years of teaching, she jumped right in to learn the new skills, how to teach pandemic special education preschool. Mary was instrumental in creating a new preschool socially distanced routine for our students who qualify for in-person instruction. Mary went above and beyond to accommodate each student's unique needs, as well as demonstrates respect for families' perspectives as she delivers safe and quality instruction to each child in her class, whether in person, at home, or hybrid combination. By Perry Paluzak. At this time, it is with great honor to present this year's award to Miss Hillary Haff, the Technology Instructional Liaison of King George Middle School. Congratulations, Ms. Haff. Best wishes to you as you represent King George County Schools in Region 3 for Regional Teacher of the Year. Congratulations to everybody. Thank you again.
Thank you, Ms. Hildebrand, and congratulations to all of our teachers, especially Ms. Haff. All right, next on the agenda, we have Ms. Dee Strauss and the DECA Internationals.
May I take this off to speak?
Certainly.
Madam Chair, while Ms. Strauss is preparing, I think they may have slipped out, but I wanted to thank, I know Mr. Monroe, Ms. Malavac, and Ms. Collins, principals from 3 of our schools were here. So I appreciate their coming out to support their Teachers of the Year. Just want to recognize them.
Certainly. Thank you all.
Good evening, Madam Chair, board members, Dr. Benson, staff, and ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dee Strauss, and I'm the King George DECA advisor, and I have some great news to share with you tonight. King George DECA attended the DECA International Career Development Conference virtually this year. But first, how did we get there? We had 29 competitors at the District Leadership Conference virtually in January. 24 certificates were earned and 12 top first, second, and third place winners were named. We moved on to the State Leadership Conference virtually in March with 29 competitors. 4 students earned top 10 in tests, 1 first place team in business law and ethics, a 4th place winner in independent business plan event, a 7th place winner in international business plan event, and a state officer elected and a scholarship recipient. Next slide, please. The International Career Development Conference was in April. Our presenters included Anthony Means and Alina Puentes presenting the school-based enterprise event. Graham Patterson and Troy Spillman competed in the business law and ethics team decision-making event. Jesse Wang competed in the independent business plan event, Solara. Lauren Wenzel competed in the international business plan event, Figura. All presentations were recorded and the video link was uploaded to the DECA ICDC portal for the judges to review and judge. Same way it was done at states and at our district level. Also attending in the lead program were Catherine Bennett, Tyler Truslow, Drew Warder, and Amanda White. Next slide, please. Oh, can you go back one? I'm sorry. This down here at the bottom here is the first frame of each one of their videos. So I wanted to show that to you. The Graham and Troy's video, they were never in the video at the same time, so I didn't snip that one together for you, but they were there too. Next slide, please, sir. Thank you. During the grand opening session, King George DECA was recognized for membership campaign and for the chapter campaigns, including the promotion and the community service campaigns. Next slide, please. Then we learned via post on DECA Direct that we had two, not just one, but two top 20 finalists. These came out in posts, and Troy was actively watching everything. So the minute anything came up, he alerted us to that. As you can see, Jesse Wang in Virginia and Lauren Wenzel of Virginia. And this shows the times that they were slated to compete at their finalist competition. Jesse Wang, of course, with Independent Business Plan, and Lauren Wenzel with the International Business Plan. They competed the following week at their times in Zoom with a live judge. First time any of our students had been in front of a live judge. Next slide, please. At the Grand Awards session, Jessie Wang won top 10, actually 5th place, with her independence plan. So please join me in congratulating her for that top 10 medal. And announce today, Jessie is our senior class valedictorian. She'll be attending Princeton, and she was also the recipient of the Virginia DECA Scholarship at our State Leadership Conference. Also winning recognition at this year's ICDC was King George School-Based Enterprise Fox Stocks for earning gold recertification. Carter Wasser was recognized for her U.S. Army scholarship. U.S. Army is a big sponsor of DECA, so they always link DECA members with their scholarship recipients. And Catherine Bennett and Tyler Truslow were named as recipients of the Marriott Foundation ICDC Scholarship. And Virginia DECA's very own O'Brien Martin from Orange County was elected the next executive president of National DECA. So we are extremely excited for that. Troy had the opportunity to work with O'Brien on the state leadership team this year. This week, we will elect our officer team for next school year and begin planning to maximize our momentum, which is next year's tagline for National DECA. I wanted to show you Jessie's prop that she used, and in no way even begin to explain what her company does, but in the way that I put it in my mindset is that her company creates solar windows for not only homes, but also office buildings and things like that. So her business plan is exceptional, all financials, everything that a real business plan would go into. So this was one of her props that she used. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Ms. Strauss. I have to ask, was there a video embedded in that? Can we watch it?
They are, well, I'm the advisor that makes all the students stay, right, Ms. Collins? For the at the conference, they all have to stay till the very end, right? So they have to stay till the very end. And the grand award session usually is about 3 hours long. So here are these kids who, whether they may or may not win, and if they didn't make it to finalists, then they know they're not going up on stage, but they sit there for 3 hours till the very end. This was the fastest international grand awards that I have ever been able to sit through, from 8 o'clock till about 9:20. It was quick. But the videos are embedded in, they are very short and to the point, but it's about an hour and 20 minutes on the grand awards.
Okay, very cool. Thank you. All right. So next on our agenda, we have Ms. Jasmine Coleman to discuss our RCC Associate's degree in King George High School diploma recognition.
Good evening, everyone. As she shared, I'm Jasmine Coleman. I'm a school counselor at King George High School. First, I'd like to thank all of you guys on the school board for this opportunity to recognize our King George High School students. Thank you, Ms. Strauss, for sharing information about the DECA program and the great work that our students are doing there as well. So we have students that have really worked hard this year to be successful. So I'm happy to share this information about Amar, and I'm going to ask him to stand up here. And I know that's sometimes awkward for students to be by themselves, but if you can. Get right here, this one. With a cumulative GPA of 4.43, Amar is ranked number 5 in our senior class of over 300 students. He has been an absolute pleasure to work with this year. Every year he's a pleasure, but this year I got to converse and meet with him more because he's been applying to colleges. He is a self-starter and, of course, a hard worker. But I love the fact that Amar is also a student that's not afraid to ask for help and ask for clarification. So he will try to attack things on his own, but if he needs help, he will definitely ask for it. So in a couple of weeks, Amar will graduate with an associate's degree from Rappahannock Community College, as well as an advanced studies diploma from King George High School. And as you can see, he's the only student in here today, and he's actually the only one getting his associate's degree this year from King George High School. So during this unpredictable year, he has worked hard, and his hard work has definitely paid off. So this fall, he will be attending the College of William and Mary on a full tuition scholarship valued at over $28,000. And at this time, I'd like for us all to applaud Amar for his accomplishments this year. And I'd like to also recognize Amar's mom, who's here, because great student has to have a great mom. Thank you guys so much for this.
All right.
No more.
Yeah.
No.
From him.
Ms. Coleman, may we ask Amar what your last name is? Come again? I'm sorry, I can't hear.
Come on up, yeah.
It's Dunham.
Dunham?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Very great. Maybe, yes, would you like to say anything, Amar? You don't have to, but if you'd like to. Can we ask what you plan on studying when you head off to college?
I plan on studying biology.
Very good, awesome. Well, good luck. Good luck. I'm sure you don't need it, but nevertheless.
What was your associate in?
It was in arts and sciences. I'm sorry.
All right, very good. Well, congratulations again. It's a big accomplishment. All right, and wrapping up our recognition this evening, Ms. Terry Rinko with our PTA Outstanding Educator Spotlights.
Chairwoman Gonzalez, fellow board members, Dr. Benson. Tonight I'm wearing my hat of President of King George County Council of PTAs, and it is my privilege and I hope your pleasure to share with you words from parents and students supporting our view that all King George County school educators truly deserve the descriptor of outstanding educator this extraordinary school year. Mrs. Alston works hard to ensure all students understand difficult math concepts and provides extra support to them when needed. She has high but clear and attainable expectations for her students and provides students with a variety of tools and strategies to achieve success in mathematics. She has made a positive impact on my daughter's attitude towards math, and our family is thankful for her. The Moyers are a fantastic teaching team. They have worked tirelessly to set high but clear expectations for their students and go above and beyond to communicate often and be accessible to parents and students, even when on maternity leave. Through virtual and in-person instruction, they have an enthusiasm and passion for teaching that have kept my daughter engaged and wanting to learn more. Mrs. Deborah Harris has worked tirelessly this year, both virtual and in-person instruction. She has gone above and beyond to provide my daughter with reading supports and has effectively communicated with both parents and students. Mrs. Baker sets clear expectations for her students and encourages their efforts. She has helped my daughter to feel comfortable with adjusting back to in-person instruction. She uses a variety of strategies to engage her students and to help them feel successful. Mrs. Mary Garrison. This is her first year working as a licensed teacher of the blind and visually impaired, but you would never know it by the way she works so hard for her students. She spends a lot of time searching for items that her students can hear, feel, smell, hold, or even taste to help increase their understanding of an idea. She has created tactile models of butterfly eggs and cocoons, cooked applesauce after discussing and feeling seeds and parts of an apple, and brailled lunch menus to allow a student to begin to understand that a menu represents what will be served that day. She scours through tons of emails and professional groups to score free lessons, ideas, free new books, and even free Braille Legos, all for the betterment and enjoyment of her students. The world needs more dedicated and committed special ed teachers like Mary Garrison. Let's see here. Miss Amanda Code. Because of her dedication to her team, her students, and her profession, she has found engaging ways to interact with her students. They always look forward to her classes. There are so many laughs and interesting conversations along with excellent educational opportunities. She has a giving heart for our students and staff members. She is irreplaceable to our King George Elementary School family. Mrs. Salyers has fun projects at the end of each unit. She has been willing to stay back after class to help anyone who needs it. She's very funny, polite, and organized. I have learned so much in her class. Mrs. Person has a great sense of humor. Mr. Person has a great sense of humor. He makes pictures so that we can understand. He is very polite and he is fun. He is organized for virtual and in-person teaching. I am glad I have him as my science teacher. And lastly, Mrs. Blankenship is a colorful and fun teacher. The stories she picks for us to read are entertaining. Mrs. Blankenship makes sure we understand what she is teaching. She is funny and she is polite. She only wants us to do our best. She is encouraging and gives me motivation to keep working. And this concludes my third edition, I should say our third edition from King George County Council of PTAs of our Outstanding Educator Spotlights. To all King George County School educators, thank you for your dedication, your perseverance, and the tremendous impact that you've made this school year. Thank you all so much for letting me share.
Thank you, Ms. Rinko. All right, this time we will move on to public and employee comment. Ms. Rinko, do we have any public comment with us signed up this evening? None? Okay. Mr. Vance, none online. All right, well, short and sweet. All right. So next up, changes to the agenda. Do we have any changes to the agenda this evening?
No changes.
No changes.
Sure.
All right. So first up on our action items, we have the 2021-2022 Student Code of Conduct. Dr. Benson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So all the items on the action agenda were before you last week. I think there was a question, the only question I remember from the Student Code of Conduct was the language regarding directory information. Just wanted to clarify that indeed annually families are afforded the opportunity to not participate, what's the word I'm looking for? To exclude their student from the release of any directory information. So I know the concern was perhaps about birth date and that type of thing. The language that's listed in our code is taken directly from Virginia Code and FERPA, the federal law. So it allows for that information to be released, but it does afford a family an opportunity to opt out, is what I was looking for, opt out of release of directory information. And we do that annually with families. So I hope that helps clarify the nature of that.
It does. Thank you, Dr. Benson. All right, at this time, do we have a motion to approve the 2021-2022 Student Code of Conduct?
I move that we approve the 2021-22 Student Code of Conduct.
Any discussion?
Second.
Yep. Any discussion? No? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, you are. Okay, chair votes aye. Motion carries. Next, the King George County Schools transportation purchase. Dr. Benson?
Again, we appreciate your consideration. As presented last meeting, this would provide the air filtration systems on our school buses. And again, we recommended a specific model, and you have the financials and the specs in front of you from last meeting, but happy to answer any questions you may have.
All right, thank you, Dr. Benson. Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the purchase of the HEPA systems with the filters and the installation awarded to Kingsmore Supply Company for the amount of $203,652.03.
Do we have a second? All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Moving on to our policy manual updates. Do we have any action? Sorry, do we have a motion to approve the policy manual updates?
I'll make a motion to approve the policy manual updates as noted under action items on tonight's agenda.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Next, our FY22 King George County School Board budget adjustments. Dr. Benson?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I have this past week, the King George County Board of Supervisors approved an allotment of local effort in the amount of $18 million even. That approved amount then impacts the school board approved budget. And accordingly, we needed to identify, apologize, I'm pushing through here. Needed to identify $879,917 to reduce from the proposed budget this board originally approved. I have identified purchases or planned expenditures for next year in that amount, and I am recommending to you as the board that listing of reductions from next year's budget. We are fortunate in that given the unusual circumstances around this year, coupled with the federal assistance through CARES that we received, we can use a combination of fund balance from fiscal year 21 and CARES funding to offset the cuts to next year. But nonetheless, we will need to reduce the operating budget for FY22 by that amount. And so I have those recommendations in front of you as far as the items we would remove from next year's budget to accomplish that. I will say that appreciate the local support. It will allow us to afford our employees a well-deserved 5% pay increase. It will also allow us to, if approved, and I'm hoping I can get your consideration there tonight, it will allow us to then post new positions we need to make the transition at the middle school and issue contracts to employees. So I appreciate your consideration, appreciate all of your effort through the budgeting process, and do appreciate the local support from our local board of supervisors. Happy to answer any questions you may have to clarify. I have included information, although it's not, the federal CARES money is grant money. We've not folded that into an operating budget because it's one-time revenue. It's not like the ongoing grant programs under the different titles of ESSA. But nonetheless, there is information I believe you requested there regarding what we refer to as CARES 1, CARES 2, and now we have the American Rescue Act that will afford King George, our school division, additional funding to be used through 2024, potentially, if we need that. So happy to answer any questions. And again, I appreciate your consideration. This simply amends the budget that you approved previously in an amount that will allow us to balance with what the County Board of Supervisors has approved as local effort for FY22.
Thank you, Dr. Benson. Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve the proposed FY22 budget as amended, reduced by $879,917 per the superintendent's recommendation, with $56,583,708 in planned expenditures for FY22.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, motion carries. All right, next on the agenda, our discussion items, technology purchase requisition. Dr. Benson?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. These are proposed Chromebook purchases using CARES, what we've called CARES 2 funding. This was included on that list of proposed expenditures for CARES 2. We know that there's a definite backlog in terms of technology items. We'd like to get these machines ordered so that we have them as close to the beginning of fall as we possibly can. But again, this is a planned expenditure utilizing CARES 2 funding. The amount obviously exceeds the threshold for which I can approve, so it would need board approval to proceed with the purchase order. And again, this is a discussion item for you tonight. Certainly bring this back as action at your May 24th meeting, is that right?
24th, the next one. All right, thank you, Dr. Benson. Any discussion or questions for Dr. Benson?
I have one. So Dr. Benson, can you just clarify? I mean, I think I know the answer to this, but we've got 794, 840, or 974. On these three documents, there's three different numbers. So are we actually getting 974 new Chromebooks?
Yes, it'd be the 974 on the purchase requisition form.
So the price quotation, that's not going to change?
That's not contingent on the number, no.
Okay. So just moving forward, we want to change the 794 number to 974.
So it's
back.
Is that true? I'm sorry.
Well, I must see what you're saying. There is,
Piggybacking on you. It's located in two different places, the 794 number. Is that incorrect?
that's my apologies. That's a typo on the cover sheet you're talking about.
Yes.
We'll correct that for next time.
Thank you, Gina. Didn't even see that.
That's all I have.
Okay, Ms. Hawk, any questions?
No, thank you.
Ms. Tolliver? Mr. Collins? All right, Dr. Benson, I had a question. So the total, the 974 Chromebooks, so are these a combination? Are some of these regularly refreshed items, some are replacements, like the combination of both our refreshes and devices from remote learning this year? Is that true? Or are these, where do these fall out?
If I'm tracking, no, I believe these, you're talking about the state grant funded refresh computers or machines that we typically get each year versus this. I think this is a purchase related only to CARES 2, or planned purchase for CARES 2.
So are these just to replace the Chromebooks this past year that were used for remote learning for students?
In part, for those machines that may not be usable, then yes, in part, it would also help. And we anticipate there'll still be, right now we're trending about 7% or 8% on the most recent survey of families still requesting a remote option. So we'll still have the need to equip students outside of school, but we'll also have the need to replenish or to provide the carts and things that are going to be needed for the in-person school.
Okay,
School, I should say, not in-person school, but
right, okay. And so you said bringing this back at our May 24th meeting for a vote would be acceptable?
that's fine.
Okay. All right, any final comments? Okay, thank you, Dr. Benson.
Thank you.
All right, so this time we will move into our committee reports. Ms. Pansiera, do you have any committee reports?
I do not.
Ms. Hawk?
I do not.
Ms. Tolliver?
I do. Presenting on behalf of the CI committee, really for Ms. Bush. Oh, sorry. I'm presenting for the Special Education Advisory Committee on behalf of Ms. Bush. So I do have a brief handout. It's just real quick. Of course, the year was a little different. Everything was done virtually. We did hold 4 meetings. We focused on outreach to families. Unfortunately, we were really beginning to take off last spring before everything shut down, and we had normally would meet at the library, and we were having really good attendance and families and kids and pizza. So this year really kind of put the CI back a little bit, as did it everything. We had a presentation earlier in the year from Ms. Bush regarding how our children with disabilities were being served through various ways earlier in the school year. We had 2 presentations on critical decision points that families of children with disabilities need to be aware of and be informed of. So you can read it over. It's kind of brief, but that's on behalf of CI.
All right, thank you, Ms. Tolliver. Mr. Collins?
I have none.
All right, and nor do I have any committee reports, so we will move on to our summer school update. Dr. Benson?
Thank you. As the board requested just an update on our summer school planning and the effort that we're looking forward to engaging in a few weeks. Here is Ms. Hill tonight, our supervisor of curriculum and instruction, and she's put together for you a brief update on the expanded summer school that we have planned, and again, are looking forward to initiating with our students and families. Ms. Hill.
Good evening, school board members, Dr. Benson, Ms. Rinko, and community members. I am here this evening to provide some updates on the summer school program that King George County Schools will be holding this summer. The focus of King George County Schools summer school is strengthening literacy and mathematics for students in elementary and middle school, while in high school, we'll be focusing on credit recovery. So I will start with K-8 summer school. So the program is a 14-day program for kindergarten through 8th grade students, and the dates are June 7th through June 25th, 8 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And the 18th of June will be a holiday. It's a state holiday, Juneteenth, so we will be closed that day. Students were invited, and most students have already been contacted if they are participating in summer school. So teachers and counselors and administrators contacted families based on criteria, and I'll talk about that in the next slide. Summer school is provided at no cost, and all materials for summer school are provided to students. And we've been able to expand our summer school this year and have a program at each of our elementary schools and our middle school because we do have CARES funding to supplement our summer school budget. Students are enrolled on the invitation basis. Parents were notified. Our transportation department is hopefully prepared. I say hopefully because we're trying to find enough bus drivers since we've expanded to so many schools. And Ms. Davis will be providing a grab-and-go style breakfast and lunch for all of our students that attend. So our goal for K-5 summer school is to enroll 30 students in the grade level that they currently are in, or 2 classes of 15 per grade level, and that's at each of our elementary schools. The goal for 6 to 8 summer school is to enroll approximately 45 students per grade level or 3 classes of 15. And the goal for our Power Scholars program, which I'll talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes, is to enroll about 15 students per grade level across the division. So 5 students per grade level at each of the elementary schools in kindergarten through 3rd grade. The considerations that teachers make when looking at student data are the students reading on current grade level? Are they completing mathematics on a student grade level? Are they attending intervention? Have they passed or are they reaching their goals for the PALS testing benchmarks? Are they completing or reaching the goals for numeracy and standards-based assessments? Are they passing their common assessments? Our quarter 3 grades also impact decision-making, SOL scores, prior SOL scores, since we haven't really gotten into the season too much yet for our elementary schools. And then, of course, their mid-year Reading Plus score. And we also look at risk factors. So we do look at different categories for students, if they're an ESOL student, if they have other social and emotional needs and things like that. And all of that is taken into consideration. Because we are at so many different schools this year, we do have an administrative intern that is working with the administration at each of the schools to help facilitate the program. And these are those people that are involved. And most of these, let's see, all of these administrative interns either already have their administrative endorsement or are in a program currently. Do you have any questions for me about the K-8 program? Okay.
Not at this time.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and move on to Power Scholars. So traditionally, King George Elementary School has been the site for our Power Scholars program, and we had merged our summer school program into a partnership with the YMCA called Power Scholars. And so this was our summer school program. But because of COVID and because of the learning loss and the gaps in instruction or in learning, should I say, we wanted to provide a more robust summer school, and that's why it's at every school this year. And in addition, we are hosting a Power Scholars Academy, and we've moved the site down to Potomac this year. So at Potomac, kindergarten through 3rd grade will have the opportunity to attend a 19-day program, which is again, in partnership with the YMCA. The program's main difference is that the YMCA fundraises and provides an afternoon program of enrichment in addition to the morning program of academics. So our teachers teach in the morning, very similarly to what they do for summer school, with a focus on literacy and mathematics. And the teachers work half a day, and then the YMCA staff comes in the afternoon and provides an enrichment for the students. On Fridays, they only have enrichment, and it runs until about 1:30 in the afternoon. And on those days, students will be able to do some field trips and some other kinds of enrichment activities that the YMCA has planned for them. Are there any questions about Power Scholars? Okay. So we also have a program that runs during the summertime that our families may have heard of. It's called Extended School Year. And this is through the Special Education Office. ESY refers to an extended school year program where the goals of an IEP are continuous. So rather than ending with the school year, they continue them throughout the summer and provide a flexible type of academic program. So it may not look the same for every child. Whereas summer school, the students meet every day for back-to-back days. ESY can look something very different. It could be a meeting of twice a week or 3 times a week throughout the entire summer or once a week through the summer. So it would just depend on the student's individual IEP goals and whether or not the student qualifies for ESY. All of those things have to be written into the IEP prior to the end of the school year. So this is not something that's usually a surprise to families. It's something that families were notified of when they were developing the IP goals with the teachers. And if you have questions on that, Melissa Ware and Ambush are also working with that program. Okay, so this is a calendar, and I really wanted this in the presentation should a family, bring these notes up later on. And this is a calendar so that they can see what days the different programs meet. It was also helpful for Ms. Davis and our teachers and Ms. Picarello in transportation. And you can see for Power Scholars, they also have a state recognized day where schools will be closed on July 5th. Okay, the next program is our high school program. And again, this program is a credit recovery type of program. So students would participate in this if they were to fail a course. And so this gives them an opportunity to work on the areas that they need extra help in so that they could then possibly take the SOL test again this summer so that they can get a verified credit. The focus of these courses are mostly those types of courses that have an SOL or standards of learning test attached to them. Students will participate on site just as the other programs, but in this case, we would have English 12, English 11, Algebra 1, Geometry, US History, English 10, English 9, Biology, and Economics and Finance offered. And right now we are fully staffed for this program as well. So with the high school, it's a little bit different in that students are able to register. And they have been in contact with their teachers and their counselors. Counselors have made phone calls, teachers have made phone calls, and there's also a form on the high school website where students who think that they might be in danger of failing can go ahead and fill out the form so that someone will contact them and that there is some type of communication in order for them to register for a class should, in the next couple weeks, they find out that they are failing. The difference with this program is because the main criteria is that the student did not successfully pass the course, we're not exactly sure how many of those students there will be at this point. Many of them are holding on to hope and are working hard, and hopefully they won't need this program. So on the next page, you'll see that we have some enrollment numbers, and those numbers have been updated since I put this presentation together earlier last week. So King George Elementary right now has about 155 students that have confirmed that they will attend summer school. So that number could go up if we have more confirmations between now and probably about 2 more weeks they have until they can register or until they can contact the teacher who has invited them back, for summer school. Right now at Potomac, there are about 116 students that are registered, that have confirmed and sent their paperwork back. At Sealston, that number remains the same. At King George Elementary, that number remains the same. King George High School has 31 confirmations as of right now, so that number has gone up. And Power Scholars is at 41 right now. And both King George High School and Power Scholars are still ongoing for enrollment because Power Scholars doesn't really start until the end of June. I thought I would just address also mitigation because I'm sure that parents are interested. We just want to make sure that they know that students will need to be wearing masks still in summer school and that they may have a mask break should they need it if they're 6 feet apart, if they get hot or something like that. So we recognize that it can get hot wearing a mask, but it still will be a requirement. Are there any questions?
Okay. If you think of one
Mhm.
after this, feel free to email me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hill. We appreciate the update.
Can I just express my gratitude too to Ms. Hill and all the principals, everyone who has worked hard to plan for this summer to accommodate over 500, just quick, as of the latest update, more than 500 of our students participating in summer extension. So well done. Looking forward to supplementing for those students.
Certainly. Thank you, Dr. Benson. All right. And while you have the floor, do you have a superintendent's report for us?
I did want to, again, congratulate all of our Teachers of the Year. Last week was Teacher Appreciation Week. This year in particular, I want to bring in this week's nurses at the school and counselors. It's really staff appreciation season, so let me not exclude anybody unintentionally, but certainly, this year it's understatement to say it's been a challenge. We have a teaching corps who, with their paraprofessionals, engaged in very quick professional development to change completely the modality in which we deliver instruction. And they did so successfully. I've talked with a few elementary principals in particular, and the scores that we're getting back are remarkable, and they're encouraging in that perhaps in some places we've not experienced the learning loss that we anticipated. Our kids continue to thrive. And our teachers have done a remarkable job setting them up for success. And so you've heard testimony. Ms. Strauss is still here, and we have accolades that have been bestowed upon individual students. But I just wanted to bring in more generally our appreciation for all of our teachers, all of our staff in our schools, our counselors, our nurses, everybody who's had a part in making this year a successful year in a very challenging paradigm. And how much we're looking forward to getting back to a more normal paradigm and getting back to teaching and learning as we know and love it. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Benson. All right. Moving on to board comment. Ms. Pansiera?
I just have a little bit to say. I just, tonight we heard about a few of our outstanding teachers, and I'm sure this was no easy task deciding on just one teacher per school, as so many teachers have rose above the stars this past year. And I just want to thank you to all of our teachers, and especially appreciation to those that were here tonight. And congratulations to Ms. Haff for Regional Teacher of the Year. Way to go. I was privileged to see her in action a little bit when she was at King George Elementary School. And I don't know, she just always kind of brought a light to the room every time she entered it. So I think it was very well deserved. I also like to say that I always like to hear from Ms. Strauss. I truly appreciate all of her efforts and her compassion that she has for the students. And it's always nice to hear about all the achievements that the DECA program has, and any child that has the opportunity to take one of her classes would definitely be blessed. Also, thank you to Ms. Coleman. She has an electrifying energy about her that I just really appreciate, and for recognizing Amar for all of his hard work. I can't imagine going through high school and getting an associate's degree. That is a great achievement, so hats off to him. Also, thank you, Terry, for the continued PTA Outstanding Educator Spotlights. It's always heartwarming to hear all of the feedback from the parents. Maybe we should put that on our agenda for every meeting. And also, Ms. Hill, thank you very much for your report. I know that you stress out all of those things. You don't like to stand in front of us and talk to us, but you do an amazing job. So don't ever think that, you are not greatly appreciated. And that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Pansiera. Ms. Hawk?
Yes. I will echo many of the comments, but we have so much for King George County Schools to be extremely proud of. It has been a trying year for parents, for our students, for educators, for the community, for the custodians, for the counselors, for the social workers. I could go down the line, and for the board members. So we really are very excited to come to this point in time, that we do see more than a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. I want to say a special congratulations to Hillary Haff and all the educators that represented each school. It is wonderful. And for the PTA Outstanding Educator nominees from Ms. Rinko, that come from the parents and the students. And I can always tell when the student really likes the teacher, when they think they're cool. I mean, that's how wonderful is that? A special congratulations, and I think we in the community can really beam with pride over Jessie Wang. And I mean, how exciting to be at the top of so many lists. We're very proud of her for being the valedictorian, and yet she has many more talents that Ms. Strauss is helping to develop, and all of the teachers at the high school, middle school, and elementaries. This has come to fruition, and it's wonderful to see. Very much thankful to the family and the teachers of Lamar Dunham. I think we're going to see him grow and blossom, and can't wait to see him come back and let us know what his future plans are. Christine Hill, thank you so much for all the behind the scenes work, all the pieces that I could not possibly keep track of, and yet you do. Thank you. And I, for one, am looking forward to graduation 2021. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Hawk. Ms. Tolliver.
I echo the sentiments of my colleagues. Really, really exciting to see DECA once again every year. Ms. Strauss, you do such a fabulous job, and your kids just shine all the time. All of the teachers of the year, especially Ms. Haff, works very, very hard, and she does bring a light to every room she enters. I agree with you, Ms. Pansera. To Amar, wow, what an accomplishment for this year particularly, and I'm sure that he's going to do a wonderful job with William and Mary, and that's a huge accomplishment as well. Ms. Rinko, thank you for being a PTA queen for the last million years, and for sharing with us all the wonderful things that go on with the county council. And also to Ms. Hill. And I'm sure a lot of parents are looking forward to a much larger summer school this year, just based on trying to get things back to a place where they should be in August. So thank you for all you do. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Ms. Tolliver. Mr. Collins.
Thank you for all the teachers that, for their dedication and service. Thanks for all the teachers that were honored before us. Ms. Strauss, you always do a great job. Troy Spellman hadn't graduated yet? Huh. Weird. Ms. Wang, that's quite an honor. Omar, that was just amazing. I didn't know that. I didn't know that he got the associate's degree, and he's going to the College of William and Mary. I'm sure he'll do King George proud. Thank you, Ms. Rinko, for presenting our 3 rounds of outstanding educators. And that's the end of my comments. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Collins. So I too thoroughly enjoyed all of the success stories that were shared this evening, from the recognition of our amazing teachers for Teacher of the Year Award, our DECA International finalists, and our outstanding young student graduating with both an advanced diploma and associate's degree. The challenges experienced this year by our families, students, and staff have most certainly been unrivaled, but it's encouraging to see these examples of where our educators and students have continued to excel. All of these highlights are testament to the dedication of our students, but also clearly to the passionate educators and administrators, without whom, of course, we wouldn't have all these outstanding accomplishments to celebrate. So thank you to each and every one of you. Last Tuesday, I thoroughly enjoyed the opportunity to participate in the VIP visit to King George Elementary School by our First Lady of Virginia, Virginia State Secretary and Deputy Secretary of Education, Ms. Northam. Our First Lady was very engaging. She read a story to some first graders and also hopped right into a lesson on renewable energy for our 6th graders. So that was exciting to see. And this past Saturday, I participated in a roadside trash pickup event coordinated by county staff and the Friends of the Rappahannock. While removing 70 bags of trash from Comorn Road was in and of itself an entirely worthwhile undertaking, I was also excited to learn from our local Rappahannock River steward, Mr. Brent Hunsinger, who covers Spotsylvania, Caroline, and King George counties, that they have EPA grant funding available to carry out watershed and environmental education programming in the county. I look forward to getting more information from Mr. Hunsinger and having him come present to the board in the not too distant future on what opportunities exist to partner with the Friends of the Rappahannock to bring additional local environmental education into our classrooms. And with that, I believe it is time to move on to closed session. Do we have a motion?
Pursuant to State Code Section 2.2-3711.A.1, for the purpose of discussion, consideration of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, substitutes, resignations, and retirements of employees of the school board, and pursuant to State Code Section 2.2-3711.A.2, for the purpose of discussion or consideration of admission or any other matters that would involve the disclosure of information contained in the scholastic record of a potential student. I move we go into closed session.
All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We are now in closed session.
pursuant to State Code 2-23712D. Only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter, and only such public business matters as were identified in motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the public body.
Second certified.
Certified?
I certify.
Certify. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We now return to open session. Do we have a motion to approve the action resulting from closed meeting?
I make a motion to approve the actions that were involved in closed meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Chair votes aye. We are now adjourned.